Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome y'all to the show. I want y'all to listen in to some of the commentary that's dealing with the First Step Act that was just passed. Check it out.
Or the fact that his caucus was split over the issue, he just wouldn't touch it, and we were stuck. Then came a breakthrough I never expect: the election of Donald Trump as president. What does that have to do with this? He brought his son-in-law to town, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has a passion for prison reform because of a family experience, and he wasted no time getting involved and engaged in the effort. We worked with him throughout this whole endeavor. The net result of it last night is nothing short of an historic vote that really changes our outlook on our system of justice for the first time in decades.
Now let me go into my overview of what was just said and things that's dealing with the First Step Act, right? Now, I'm watching this live, and as Dick Durbin stated, one of the worst votes that he ever voted on was in 1986, dealing with crack cocaine, where they treated crack cocaine sentences more than they did powder cocaine. And they were locking black men up for 10 years, one rock, 25 years, certain amount of dope, right? And a lot of these families, broken homes, dads gone, long jail times over crack rock, in which, when, and this is what was stated when George H.W. Bush was the head of the CIA, more drugs came into America than any period in time. Then on the other scale is that black people wasn't on it. And you, matter of fact, you can check this out in my book called Consequence by Vince Cole Muhammad. The book is titled Consequences. Now, there was no boats, planes, trains that we owned as a race in order to move all of that dope into the black community, crack. Even in the movie Godfather, they said, put it on the black community. Let's dump the dope into the black community. Something to that effect, right? But let me tell you what's really going on. First of all, Jared Kushner is young. So he has his ears to not the streets, but to popular culture or things that are being said in popular culture. And then he relays that up to the old white man that has no idea, that's clueless, who couldn't tell you the youngest rappers. Trust me, they listening to different shows and they're hearing sentiments by people who been affected over the years by crack cocaine sentencing, or how it personally hurt their families, or how crack babies or mothers being on crack that was deliberately dropped in the black community. So don't be fooled when you see these older gentlemen smiling and celebrating the First Step Act. It's really something that the black people was pushing. Let me explain what that means when I say it's something that black people really was pushing. Black people got enraged at the fact over the opioid crisis, right? And the handling of the opioid crisis. Same thing as in 84 when it started with black people and crack. Now it's white people's turn. And black people want blood. Black people look, treat these white people the same way you treated us in 84. Snatch them children out of that white dope head mother's arms. Send that child to CPS. Lock that white dude up for 25 years to life. 3 strikes. And the funny part about it is some of these white judges are given light sentences long as they vow to go to a rehab class in the courtroom. Black people were never offered that. And so to ease the pain, ease the bruising, what they're trying to do is, you might be in prison for 25 years for a crack issue. You know what? We're going to let you out 5 years early so you get out in 20 years, pat you on the back. Oh, yeah, get out there and have a good life, black man. And it's like, wait a minute, dude. I got caught with an ounce of crack. You gave me 25 years, life destroyed, and you saying get on out there and compete with the speed of today's time. But I've been in bars for 20 years. Now I get to go to school to get certified in the field that I might can come out into society and be productive. Who's going to hire me? Okay. All kind of issues are at play. But the bottom line is, since opioid is a pandemic in America and is mainly affecting white people, they're trying to, how can I say, smooth things over. This is like an apology to the harsh treatment that was dealt the blow to the black community in the early 80s. Because you're not treating your white counterparts the same way. You, like I stated, you're not sending the children to CPS. You're not locking these white women up. You're not locking the white men up. You're not even locking the some who make these pills in laboratories. You're not even giving them extensive amount of time. I mean, you're not seeing them as what did Hillary Clinton say? Predators of society. You're not seeing them that way. You're not seeing them as a threat. You know, you're not doing the same thing. Matter of fact, you even offering these people a nasal spray that would help revive them during an overdose. There was no any type of adverse medication to revive a crackhead and bring him back to reality. I mean, nothing. And so to avoid responsibility of the horrific act that was taking place in the early 80s, you come up with the First Step Act, sponsored by and led by Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. But you have to realize he's young, so he hears the talk. He's hearing like, wait, whoa. You know, this is similar to. Let me tell you what this is similar to, y'all. This is similar to the March on Washington with Dr. King back in the Civil Rights era, right? It started off in the streets, right? People was upset. They were tired of being mistreated, and black folk had united amongst themselves, not around Dr. King. They were saying, look, we finna go down to D.C. and tear this so-and-so up. We finna kick in the doors. No more will we ever be treated like second-class citizens, because the knowledge was spreading. Black folks started noticing who their forefather was. Not Jefferson and Washington and none of the four founding fathers. Nah, we talking about Mansa Musa. We talking about Imhotep. We talking about Isis and Osiris and Heru or Horus. And we started learning information and knowledge, and it was like, man, you're not finna treat us no any kind of way. We know who we are. And what happened was, they said, okay, well, look here, Brother Martin Luther King, which, by the way, Martin Luther King was a brilliant man. But they said, Martin, look, we got angry black men coming to D.C. We need to smooth this thing over. If you listen to what Malcolm X stated, it turned into a picnic, Sunday morning show. It's a picnic. They told people when to speak and who was going to speak, and it calmed down. But the thing behind it was to curb and calm down the anger that the black black youth felt how they was being mistreated in America, the country where they were paying taxes to. Same as the opioid situation. Blacks was upset that you're not given fair and equal justice dealing with illegal drugs, crack, opioids, the abuse, the sale. Selling opioids is the number one drug, which makes it illegal to sell opioids without a prescription. And then once you become an addict, an addiction is an addiction is an addiction, and the reaction from that addiction is a reaction from that addiction, which affects and hurts others, which once you under that addiction, there's some type of punishment. Example, you driving drunk and you're addicted to alcohol, you driving drunk, you hit somebody, that's responsibility. You know what I mean? They on them Hispanics for driving drunk. They hit someone, you going to jail. Black folk, you under some fry, you under lean, you under cocaine, whatever, and you get high and you out of your mind, say you wet up, you fried up, you go out and rob somebody, shoot somebody or what, you going to jail, right? You know, or what? No matter what you do, say you go out and steal, you do anything, right? You going to jail under that addiction. There's been plenty of cases now, families under the addiction of opioids, passed out on the floor in stores, disorderly conduct, disrupting the peace, anything. And they wake them up, send them home. And the world is like, what the hell? But we getting down to that underlying issue of race. Look, man, I'm sorry. And this is not a bad thing. You know, I hate to say it, but white people protect their own. They might don't give a damn about nobody else, but they protect their own. Hey, look, we got to cover this up. We got to hide it. No, we can't let little Susie seem like she's a dope head. Let's get her some help. We'll create a nasal spray to revive. A matter of fact, John, you got a position for Susie. Hey, man, she can't leave them boy. Then, yeah, I'll hire her over here and, you know, they'll work together. Well, what about that, the black family over there? Too bad, too sad, nothing we can do about them. Man, let their own help them. Hell, don't they got some kind of black coalition that helps black people? I don't know, and they're like, well, yeah, but your seat in the position of power, you're supposed to give out equal justice to all. And they're like, yeah, right. Anyway, you know what I mean? So when you see this First Step Act that was passed today, brought on by Jared Kushner, it's just a way of saying, hey, look, we'll give justice because we're admitting that there is nowhere in hell we will treat white people the same way black folks was treated during the crack epidemic as it is now today with the opioid epidemic. They're letting you know straight up, we refuse to lock white people up for acts and crimes that they've committed while under the influence of opioids and treat them the same way blacks was treated in the early 80s. You know, look, forgive us for our sins back in the early 80s because we didn't foresee in the future that white people would get hooked on opioids as they are today. We didn't know, but if white folks wouldn't have experienced this opioid epidemic, then there'd be no First Step Act. So bottom line is, and what I'm saying is, white addiction on opioids was the basis, the foundation of the First Step Act to curb the mistreatment of blacks under crack. You get it? Even though it rhymed, crack, first step act. Crack creates first step act. Crack created first step act. Yeah, y'all can use that. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.